to work. I'm going live on Facebook. I have never done this. I mean, sorry, YouTube. I am going live on YouTube. I have never done this before. I want to update my YouTube channel. It has been a long time since I've updated, and I have messy hair. I did not even had a good therapy session. I brought some artwork with me to my therapy session to discuss. I like my hair messy. I'm going to turn 50 in just a little while. On October 25th, 2018, I'm going to turn 50, and I decided to celebrate my recent fitness improving, my mental health as well as my physical health. For those of you who don't know, I have been intermittent fasting since July 5th, 2018, and I'm about 25 pounds leaner according to the scale than I was before I started doing that. I don't really care about what I weigh, but I want to be fit and strong and lean and healthy as I head into my 50s, and my hormones are going to change, you know. So far, I still have regular monthly cycles as a woman. That varies from woman to woman when she goes through menopause. My mom actually didn't even, I think, go through that till she was in her mid 50s, maybe even late 50s. So probably I'll be like my mom, and it won't happen for me for a while. So, but I'm getting ready for the hormonal changes that my body's going to go through. And I think a lot of people think that they have to keep gaining weight as they get older, and that's really not true. Your hormones can remain balanced and healthy as you age. Everybody ages differently depending on their genetics as well as their eating and exercise and sleeping and drinking water and relationships and your family life and your overall life, if you're doing what you love, if you like your job or not, etc. Feel very grateful that I work as an art model and a medical model for medical students, and that's my full-time job. I'm a full-time freelance art and medical model, and I really like my job and I'm grateful. So I have been intermittent fasting, which means I rest from eating anywhere from 16 to 18 to 20 hours a day. I just drink plain coffee, plain tea, and or water. I put Himalayan pink salt in my water to make sure my electrolytes are okay. I also put lemon juice in my water sometimes, depending on how I feel. And I exercise actually before I eat. I exercise in a fasted state, and fasting is really a form of resting. I'm not actually calorie restricting. I'm eating as much as I want in my eating window, and I'm losing weight. I mean, I'm burning fat. My body is building muscle and burning fat. And I'm eating generally sort of semi-ketogenic. I'm eating high healthy fat, low carbohydrates, hardly any sugar. I eat a lot of basically healthy natural fats in grass-fed and pastured meat and eggs, and I eat avocado and raw and dry roasted nuts like hazelnuts, macadamia nuts, almonds, pecans, walnuts. Those are some of my favorite nuts, and I get a lot of healthy fat from that. I eat wild caught salmon with butter and lemon. I eat lots and lots of vegetables. I eat kale and chard and greens. And so I'm feeling really good. My mental health is more stable than it's been in years and years and years. And so I hope this live feed is working. I have never gone live on YouTube before. I might try live Facebook as well. I might try my smartphone. My smartphone microphone doesn't seem to work when I do the out-facing video. But the microphone is better on my smartphone than it is. I'm using my webcam right now to record this, so I hope the sound is okay. I am excited that I painted, oh here. Here's my calendar. That's a self-portrait I took of myself like way back in 2006, I think. And then this is another artwork of mine. I make my own day planner calendars because my schedule is so complicated. I definitely need a planner, and I write everything down on paper because I don't want to do everything digitally. I painted these shoes. These are some really comfortable FitFlop shoes that I had, and they kind of became filthy, and they were like old and kind of worn out, and I decided to paint them green. I wanted FitFlops to make green, and they do not make green sandals. And these are so comfortable, good arch support. And there's rhinestones on them, and I thought I could take green metallic fabric paint, put it on top, and kind of stain the fabric underneath, and then wipe off the paint off the rhinestones. So the sparkliness is maintained. So that's what I did for these shoes. And then I painted on the fake suede green metallic paint with a layer of glitter. I don't know if that really shows up on the camera, the glitter, but there's a layer of green glitter on top of, so there's 2 layers of paint. So that was a fun thing that I did recently. And then this is my tattoo, which means be yourself no matter what they say. So yeah. So I am happy that I had therapy this morning, and my artwork is on display in a medical office, and they've extended it. I'm going to switch it out and swap it out for different art of mine, and I'm happy and honored that they decided to extend me showing my artwork there. And I model later for an art class, and I basically work every single day this week with medical students and art students, and I'm very grateful. And I would like to say that I've been following lots of people online who are doing the intermittent fasting for their health, and learning a lot about metabolism and blood sugar and insulin and the pancreas, the liver, the kidneys, all the different internal organs and how they work together, and fascinated by nutrition and chemistry, and trying to balance my obsession kind of with nutrition with doing my artwork and working as a model and juggling lots of things right now. So, and my cat actually is mildly diabetic, and I have him on a special diet of raw meat. But it's not just raw meat, it's specially formulated for cats. And so it has organ meats and muscle meats, heart and liver and muscle meats. And it has, I think, egg in it, and it has bones ground up and or eggshells for the calcium, the minerals that cats need. And I get that at the health food pet store. I have managed to not have to give my cat insulin, because the more I learn about insulin, the more I realize it's a bit dangerous to give cats insulin, because you have to monitor them very closely. You have to prick their ear and check their blood sugar level, which some cats are okay with, but my particular cat, Kisoon, he really doesn't like it when I try to prick his ear. And so, to make a long story short, I have insulin in my refrigerator for my cat if he needs it. But right now, it's been over a year, and I have been giving him um, digestive enzymes. A naturopathic vet actually recommended that I give him digestive enzymes in powder form mixed in with his raw meat diet. And he eats a variety of different raw meats, specially formulated for cats. And he's managed to be good. I feed him several times a day. I have a special way that I feed him basically several times a day whenever he wants it, because he's fairly thin. Some diabetic cats are overweight. My cat is very thin. So but actually he's gained weight. He used to be very thin. Now he's slim, but he's a healthy kind of lean, it seems to me. And he seems like he feels very good. And so basically, because if I give him insulin, I have to be really careful to give him a teeny tiny bit, and then make sure his blood sugar doesn't get too low. And then if it gets too low, some people feed their cats wheat gluten or, cheap high carb food to get their blood sugar, to just up and down with the blood sugar, which is a roller coaster and very stressful to the cat. So I decided to go without the insulin and to do it through diet and nutrition, and make sure he gets enough exercise. I take him outside for walks on a harness. So to make a long story short, my cat and I are both on special nutrition plans. I am not diabetic, but I never want to become pre-diabetic or diabetic. Many, many, many Americans are pre-diabetic or diabetic and or obese. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying that I don't want to be one of those people. I want to be very healthy and get leaner as I head into my 50s. And the way that I'm doing that is intermittent fasting, which is resting from eating. Basically, just extending, when you sleep at night, you don't eat for 8 hours. That's kind of a form of fasting. It's resting. Your body is resting. and your body has time and energy to heal and repair itself. And when you fast, you basically just extend the time of your resting. So it's like you're sleeping and you're basically resting. So I am enjoying this. I've done it every day pretty much since July 5th, 2018, and I'm getting leaner and fitter, and my mental health is better. I feel more stable. I feel less irritable and less moody. And I really do think that the insulin, because every time you eat something, your body has to secrete insulin in order to digest it. And when you eat healthy fats, like fats made by nature, like animal fat from a healthy animal, whole eggs from pastured chickens who are happy and healthy and being able to graze in the grass and eat what they normally naturally eat instead of fed hormones and antibiotics and grains and all kinds of weird stuff. So eating healthy animal product fat, eating raw cheese, whole fat, eating uh, vegan fats would be plant source fats would be raw, dry roasted nuts like hazelnuts, macadamia nuts, um, macadamia nuts, hazelnuts, walnuts, pecans. Those are some of my favorite nuts. Almonds and almond butter and avocado and guacamole and coconut cream. There's a dessert that I make with coconut cream, vanilla, cinnamon, a little bit of stevia, and chia seeds. And I mix that up in a dish, and then I freeze it and or refrigerate it, and then it firms up and it kind of becomes like this chocolate, not chocolate, it becomes a coconut cream vanilla pudding with cinnamon and chia seeds, kind of like a tapioca. And it's like a vegan, high fat, low carb, low sugar kind of dessert. And I've managed to avoid eating ice cream for a while. I might have ice cream on my birthday. I'm not going to worry too much about, celebrating on my birthday a little bit. But I generally feel better without eating a lot of sugar and carbs. And apparently my pancreas is getting a rest because when you eat healthy fats, it has almost no effect on your insulin level, meaning that your pancreas doesn't have to work hard to digest fat. So when you eat healthy fat, your body, it's easy on your body in terms of your blood sugar and your insulin levels. And insulin levels are separate from blood sugar. You can have high insulin but normal blood sugar. In fact, most people that are told that they're pre-diabetic, it's because for years and years and years, maybe they were eating a lot of sugar and carbs and their pancreas could handle it. Eventually, the pancreas gets tired and can't handle it anymore. And so your blood sugar that was normal for many years suddenly becomes too high. So, and then you're told you're pre-diabetic or diabetic. And so basically, I'm trying to avoid that ever happening. Diabetes does not really run in my family generally, although my dad had a couple brothers who one brother was diabetic and passed away a few years ago. But he smoked and drank and never exercised and ate not very good food his whole life and lived till like 68, I think. And then my other uncle actually has been told he's pre-diabetic, but I'm pretty sure that his nutrition is not. I think he eats a lot of sugar and carbs and probably low fat. When you eat low fat, high carb, you have a tendency to have blood sugar issues. So basically, I'm eating high healthy fat, low carb, hardly any sugar. The carbohydrates I don't eat any grains. I quit wheat 6 years ago and lost about 40 pounds. I've gained some back. Now I'm losing again. But basically, I cut grains out of my diet because I had a thyroid issue, which went away and they took me off the medication. So my thyroid basically balanced out. And basically, I'm going back to being lower carb because I was eating no grain, no wheat, no oats, no rice generally, but now and no corn, but now generally, I'm sorry. Now I'm back to being even lower carb. And the carbohydrates I do eat, I'm not eating very much fruit right now either. I eat occasionally like half an apple, some blueberries, half a banana in a smoothie with a bunch of greens and some avocado and some nuts. And so I'm having kind of savory smoothies that are a little bit sweet, but not much, and unsweetened. I don't put any stevia in my smoothie because I like sort of plain, just a little bit of fruit in my smoothie, but not very much. And I am eating, what was I going to say? So I've gotten a lot leaner doing this. My waist, I'm an apple. My body type is sort of apple shaped, meaning I kind of am middle heavy. My arms and legs are longer and thinner, and my torso is where I seem to gain the weight, like kind of almost like a guy, like a spare tire, like my belly and my love handles in the back. that's kind of where I seem to be gaining weight and storing fat. And basically, insulin helps your body store fat. So the more insulin you have in your bloodstream, the more you're likely to store fat. And so, theory about fasting is you're resting, your pancreas gets a rest and your liver also gets a rest because the pancreas and the liver work together to digest food. And when you're not eating, you're resting. Fasting is a form of resting the digestive system. So you rest and then what was I going to say? And then you eat later. Food tastes amazing. Like when I eat, it tastes so great. It smells great. The texture, the color, everything is enhanced. I feel more sensitive. I feel like my pancreas is more insulin sensitive because I'm trying to prevent insulin resistance in my body, basically, by eating healthier. So high healthy fat, low carb, and intermittent fasting every day, and just taking it one day at a time. If I ever feel nauseous or dizzy, I eat something, but that's only happened a couple times. And if I eat some electrolytes and salt and lemon in my water, that usually goes away if I feel icky. Um, and I'm getting like 8 hours of sleep every night pretty much, and I toss and turn a little bit here and there, but generally I'm staying in bed at least 8 or 9 hours every night and drinking a lot of water. But I'm not drinking tons of water. I'm just drinking water when I'm thirsty and making sure to drink enough, but not too much. Because they say some people drink too much water. It's actually not that good for you. It depletes your electrolytes if you constantly are drinking water, um, even when you're not thirsty. So it's best to drink when you actually feel thirsty. And if you feel hungry, drink something first. Make sure, are you thirsty or are you hungry? And so I am experimenting and I'm thinking it might take a whole year for me to get super, super fit. I'm 5'8.5" and I weighed 185 pounds a few months ago. Now I'm about 160. I think my ideal would be 140 or 150, depending on how it goes. I don't really care what the scale says, but I just want to be lean and fit and strong and burn off the excess flab on my torso mostly. My arms and legs are pretty fit and strong. My torso is where I'm a bit flabby, mostly my midsection, but that is actually melting away. My torso is getting much leaner and I'm feeling really good. I feel like my waist is getting narrower. I have a sense that if I had any fat around my liver, like in my internal fat, I think it's called visceral fat inside your body versus subcutaneous fat, which is more on the outside of like your layer of skin on the outside. I feel like my body, because of intermittent fasting, and resting my pancreas, it's really changing my metabolism and my biochemistry. And I think I have melted and burned off. My body is learning to use its own fat as fuel. And I feel like my liver and my pancreas, if there was excess fat near my internal organs and my heart and lungs, I feel like that's burning off. And so I feel like my waist is more narrow and I don't feel so bloated and I just feel so much better. My brain feels better. My mood is better. When I have stressful things happen to me, I just don't feel quite so irritated by it. And what was I going to say? So I'm feeling really good and my skin feels great. I use coconut oil as a moisturizer, a lotion, but I also feel like eating healthy fats has lubricated the inside of my body, and I feel like my joints are better. And I've been exercising my whole life, so I already had pretty good cardiovascular fitness and good blood pressure. My blood pressure is like 110/60 something most of the time. Um, because I have it checked a lot by medical students because I work with medical students as a patient model. And so they constantly tell me what my vital signs are. So I know that my pulse and blood pressure are very healthy. Um, and I've just been chubby my whole life, basically. And I've been exercising, riding my bike, jogging, walking, playing tennis, swimming. Mostly right now I walk and ride my bicycle, mostly to commute on my bicycle to avoid traffic jams, but it's also good exercise. So thanks for listening, if anybody's listening, and I hope this is recording me correctly. So this is Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring, my website, shannonkringen.com. So if this worked right, I might start making more videos. So I'm going to end the stream now. So I also share on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring, just look that up. And I love to connect with people. Nutrition and art and travel are some passions of mine. Thanks for listening. Bye for now. End the stream, yes.